morning to the loyal audiences of Emissions,
the one and only show that can expand your knowledge of policy. I, Irfan, together with my partner Alisa, will be your host for today's episode of Ambition.
Irfan, today will be an exciting day because in today's episode, we will be talking about ways of coping with integrity issues and the effect of policy violation in an organization. So, to discuss it in further, we do have a guest who is an expert in this field of policy.
I am very excited and honored to invite our guest for today. She is the Senior Human Resource Consultant for SIRIM Berhad and has over 25 years of experience of service at SIRIM. Let's welcome Puan, Razita, Abdul, Razak.
Welcome, Puan Razita. Hello, Puan Razita. Are you there?
Sebab saya kena in charge untuk tim bangsa banjir. We have like 300 staff yang affected with the banjir. So hari ni saya yang in charge untuk distribution of makanan dan sebagainya. So ni pun saya lari sekejap ke office, lepas ni kena lari balik ke belakang.
It's okay, Puan. We understand since there are a lot of things that are happening right now.
Puan Razita, how about we start by having you to tell us a little bit about your experience with SIRIM?
For the past 25 years of service, I am with SIRIM, but 21 year of my working experience is with the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, where I was seconded there at the Malaysia Design Council. And then for the past 4 years, I was called back to SIRIM, and I was appointed as the person in charge for staff event, also something things to do with policy, not policy, on staff disciplines, and also to do with but most of my job is basically on the staff engagement events. Like I told you today, I will be quite busy with the banjir victims among the staff member. So that is part of my job.
Wow, that is quite a journey in your career life, followed by all the responsibility that you are carrying right now as a senior HR. Alright, Puan Razita, when we talk about policy making, I believe it is a certain procedure to follow, right? In SIRIM, what are the essential steps taken in the policy making process? Does it need to go through according to the corporate hierarchy?
As in the case of SIRIM, the policy is not solely under one department, because normally policy is linked to different type of situations. I can only explain and share with you what's happening under group of human resource. So we have a few policies like the discipline policies, work from home policies and all. And of course, when we want to start any policy, we have to pair and we have to see what's going outside. We look at the current situation. In the case of SIRIM, normally we will always look at other GLCs, and sometimes we also compare ourselves with what other ministries are doing. Okay, and then once we have the paperwork ready, we have to present our idea to our management committee. After that, to the board. Only after the board has approved our policy, then we will communicate our policies to the rest of SIRIM staff. And the communication sometimes take time because especially during the pandemic and when everybody is working from home and not everybody has their own laptop, not everybody has the privilege to access to internet. So handphone is always it's like our savior lah. Sometimes people will call you up anytime asking about the policies, especially if I can relate myself very much is to the work from home policy. People has been asking whether the policy is still on, how many percentage of staff should be in the office, and When we say work from home, is it from 8, because we work from 8 to 5 every day? Is it 8 to 5, or is it 8 to 8? Is it 8 to 10? So things like that. The key point is here is to communicate, to get the staff to understand, and also to have their buy-in on the policy. Because if no one is taking, if there is no buy-in from the staff on the policy, then the policy simpan kat dalam kertas je lah. Simpan dalam file lah, nobody is using it.
So, the policy making process needs to be done yearly, which is to say, it is not an easy task to do, right, Alisa?
Exactly, Irfan. And the most important thing to note here is that communication is key. Alright, Razita, we know that SIRIM has its own policy called No Gift Policy, which guides employees in performing their duties in transparent and trustworthy manner. How does SIRIM implement the No Gift Policy? And to whom should they report any conflict if the employees are involved in any? Is there a person in charge?
Policy is basically under the President's office. So when I say it's under the President's office, so you can understand, you can see how important the policy is to SIRIM. We had one roll-up banting at our main lobby. In fact, we also have one at our main gate at our guard house. So it is how we communicate to the customer when they come to SIRIM. We do not tak boleh bagi hadiah lah, basically. So among the staff also, when we click to our laptop every morning, to our notebook, our PC every morning, the first thing that will appear is that policy. So it's a constant reminder to all staff. And if, let's say, such issue, ada orang terima hadiah and all, staff can always communicate to our integrity department, and our integrity department will take charge to investigate together with GHR. We will investigate on the matter, and if the person is found guilty, then of course we will take yang disciplinary action yang bersesuaian.
Personally, I like the approach taken by SIRIM in implementing their no-gift policy. It shows that SIRIM is very committed to delivering the services with higher standard of integrity through the policy. What do you think, Irfan?
Me too, Alisa. I am intrigued by the SIRIM implements this policy by constantly reminding their employees about it. Alright, Puan Razita, we understand that organizational policies are guidelines that employees must follow for operations to run smoothly. So, if employees fail to follow or violate company policy, are there any strategies that can be implemented to solve the issue?
Like I mentioned before, we have our integrity section to take care of all these integrity issues, and we also have our disciplinary committee who will debate, deliberate, discuss on matters pertaining to this matter. And besides that, I think almost every 2 or 3 months, we will have somebody from outside to share an insights on integrity. People like you Azman, we have Chetman coming, we have all the PUs coming. We even invited people from integrity, Malaysia integrity, what is it called? Can't remember. And then we also invited, I remember last month we invited an ex-judge who was no longer a judge, the ex-judge kan, he was convicted with this tidak amanah, pecah amanah. So you can just imagine someone with that high position, seorang hakim, and now he was convicted and he is now dipenjarakan and no longer a hakim, and semua kesalahan dia tu not just reflected or impacted himself but also the family, especially the mother. So I guess when we had people like this coming to SIRIM, sharing their experience, once we have person who is apa yang holds the akta, and we have those who implement the akta, and now we have someone yang impacted by the akta, so it makes sense. Staff SIRIM nampak benda tu from three angles, and kita pun tahu when you had those stories going on depan you can feel how if you commit to those offense, you can feel macam mana it will impact you. So that's how we make sure our staff, as much as possible, please not to take any bribes. Please avoid yourself from this apa ni, benda-benda yang tak bagus lah.
Those are very wise steps taken by SIRIM to address the issue that are happening. I, myself, will definitely be intrigued to listen to what people like you, Azman, have to say about this issue.
We are well aware that we are still plagued by the COVID-19 pandemic, and there are many phases we have already gone through. But now, we are moving toward a better condition than before. Right, Irfan?
That's right, Alisa. Puan Razita, since we are moving from a pandemic to an endemic, how does SIRIM seems connected to existing policy or policy changes?
There's no policy changes during the pandemic. It stays the same, but constant communication is via our emails. We still have our regular talks on integrity, and like I mentioned, every time you open up your laptop, the first thing you'll see is a policy. No bribery policies, no gift policies. So it's like a constant reminder, embedded into yourself, embedded into your mind. So it's like a macam pagi-pagi kan, kita solat, kita doa, so benda tu has become part of you. So we always remind ourselves, especially ourselves, we don't do it, and then insyaAllah others don't do it. But basically, to me lah, you just take care of yourself. If everybody takes care of themselves, then nobody is doing. You jangan sibuk nak tengok your kawan, oh kawan you ambil, kenapa you tak ambil? No, everybody has to take care of yourself. But then still, macam I cakap tadi, if you know ada orang ambil, you can always report. It's either through whistleblower ataupun you can always communicate, send an email to GHR. We will investigate the matter, and we had a few cases where the staff kita terminate dia from service. So this is how severe, how serious we take this integrity things in SIRIM.
I strongly agree with what just said by Puan Razita there. Don't do something just because somebody else does it.
I agree, Irfan. Taking bribe is an act that should be avoided where it not only violates company policy, but in my opinion, it has also violated the law. Okay, the next question is, what are the communication strategies developed by SIRIM to keep employees informed?
Okay, we have our communications corporate affairs department here in SIRIM, so they will basically take care on how to communicate the whatever policies we have. Either it is something to do with integrity, no co-policy, whatever policies. But among what we practice here in GHR is that besides we know, we have constant email, a constant reminder in our email. We have the pop-up in our laptop. Even during before we start any meeting, it is a compulsory in SIRIM. Before you start any meeting, the chairman has to read a pledge. So it is up to that level. So the pledge is read loudly in front of everybody. Everybody has to listen. Then after we have read the pledge and agreed to the pledge, then only we will start the meeting. So just imagine, let's say in a day you have 5 meetings, so you have 5 pledge to read. So it's very, that's how serious we take it lah.
The pledge reading before meeting is something new I learned today. SIRIM really does have good communication strategy and approaches. Last but not least, Puan Razita, Maybe you would like to share with us a case related to integrity that has happened at SIRIM before.
Many years ago, I know this one person yang dia commit something yang bukan dia tak ada the integrity itulah, and SIRIM what we did is memang kita terminate dia lah, 24 hours kita terminate dia. After we discuss about the matter, kita panggil dia, minta dia beri hujahan. We conduct a DI. You all tahu DI? Domestic inquiry. It is similar to what we have in court. So we have our hakim, we have our kita ada kita punya pembela, kita ada kita punya peguam cara. So we have that. In fact, every time we have these disciplinary issues, we will conduct domestic inquiry. So during the domestic inquiry, if we found the person guilty, the sub guilty, then we will propose on the apa tindakan yang nak ambil. When the president approves, then kita akan impose lah dia punya ni. So most of the cases, kalau it involves integrity, there is no grey area. Integrity is either you do it or you don't do it. If you do it, whether the amount is 10 cent, 20 cent, 20 ringgit, 20 million, then hukuman dia ialah termination.
Thank you so much, Puan Razita, the Senior HR Consultant of SIRIM, for your sharing today. I am amazed by how serious and well SIRIM handled the issues of integrity and unbelief. Everyone has learned something new. Irfan, I think it's time to say goodbye now.
Aisa, before we end our show today, I heard that one of the developers of the COVID Now website will be joining us for our upcoming episode. So, who will it be? If you want to know, make sure to stay tuned for the next episode of Emissions. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
That's all from us. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next episode. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment and share before you go. See ya!